question.
Yeah.
It was if there is a way forward. I mean, and also if the West, more or less Britain and US, were part of the problem, could they be also part of the solution? Because we do have a moral responsibility. We can't only cause, you know, all the things that you talked about and then.
Okay. I think for me, so one of the reasons I wrote this book is I didn't think this was going to be the last war in the Middle East. And last year I found out that my prediction was correct. And so I thought that this war is defined the last decade, and there are lessons we can draw from it, in the ways you're suggesting. And I think one of the most important lessons for me is that many of the people who were involved in the war and the occupation, actually I don't think they were cackling, evil, Machiavellian types. Actually, you know, I've met various of the officials, and some of them I even quite liked. And I think many people believed they were doing a good thing. They believed in the morality of what they were doing. Whether they were oil advisors trying to improve the Iraqi oil industry by bringing in the multinational companies like Exxon and BP, or whether they were political advisors thinking, well, Iraq would be better if Shia and Sunni each had their respective percentages in the government. I don't think some grand evil plan is what lies behind what happened in Iraq. But what I do think happened is that subconsciously the interests of the occupying powers, primarily the USA and Britain, shaped the way they understood events. And the way they understood events and the way they conceived solutions to Iraq's problems reflected what was in fact in the interests of their own countries. And I think you really can't get away from that. And the reason I opposed the war in 2003 was not because I wanted Saddam Hussein to remain in power, but because I thought any action by the USA and Britain to remove him, what comes after will inevitably reflect those countries' interests. I think the lesson is that it is not for Western powers to intervene in other countries, to occupy them, to invade them, to try and resolve their problems, simply because I think they can't, because of where the political dynamics are. What should we do? We should respect the people of those countries and allow them to determine their political futures. I think that lesson is very clear to me from the Iraqi experience. Do we have a moral responsibility? Personally, I think we should be demanding that the USA and the UK owe reparations to the Iraqi people. But I think it's some way off politically before that point becomes accepted.
Well, thank you very much. As I mentioned,